former Federal Reserve facility in Culpeper that once housed billions of dollars during the Cold War is now home to millions of pieces of American multimedia.
The National Audiovisual Conservation Center is nearly a decade into a project to digitally preserve our history as told over the radio airwaves, through the TV, and on the silver screen. Our Matt Talhelm takes us behind the scenes in a story you'll see only on NBC 29.
I'm singing in the rain.
This vine-covered building that blends into the mountainside
Off to see the wizard.
holds the voices and images
He's looking at you, kid.
of the nation's most memorable recorded history.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Closed up in this fortress-like facility in Culpeper are more than 6 million moving images and sound recordings in the collection of the National Audiovisual Conservation Center.
It is the largest and most comprehensive audiovisual collection of any library or archive in the world.
Center Chief Gregory Luco carries the keys to unlock the underground bunker that stores much of the collection.
It was a Cold War era nuclear bomb-proof bunker where they stored money to repump the economy.
35 vaults that once secured billions of dollars cover 2 floors of the former Federal Reserve Bank bunker. Each floor is longer than a football field.
No two are the same size, shape, or configuration. We had to fit ourselves into a pre-existing structure.
The vaults now house film reel canisters and memorabilia on more than 90 miles of shelving in climate-controlled conditions.
50 degrees Fahrenheit and 30% relative humidity. You want to be cooler and drier for audiovisual media in general.
The master film vault is kept even colder at 35 degrees to preserve a collection of negatives given to the center by the major Hollywood film studios.
Gigi, the Academy Award winner for Best Picture in 1958. Gone with the Wind, 1939, Oscar winner for Best Picture. Porgy and Bess, very rarely seen film.
The rarest and oldest films are locked behind a set of double doors leading to another wing of vaults.
They all look somewhat like this.
These 124 vaults store just 1% of the center's collection. Fire code requires these highly flammable nitrate films be stored to strict standards.
Once you have a burning reel of nitrate film or a burning vault of nitrate film, there's nothing you can do to put it out.
The reels feature the first moving images from 1893 through the golden age of Hollywood.
Give up, sir, I will not yield.
The film that was in the camera when Frank Capra was standing behind it and Jimmy Stewart was in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington standing in front of the camera. Those negatives are in these vaults. We also have lots of content that isn't so well known, orphan films from the past whose production companies no longer exist and there's nobody to take care of them.
Carol Galbraith provides that care in the Film Preservation Lab.
Nitrate, you never know what you're going to get when you open up a can of nitrate. I mean, it could be in great shape or it could be in horrible shape.
The motion picture specialist inspects films frame by frame to spot imperfections for repair.
We're looking for any damage that we might find. That could be on the perfs, it could be on the edge of the frame, or it could be a tear through the middle of the frame.
On this day, Galbraith splices longer digital titles into the 1927 silent film in Old Kentucky.
In order for somebody to be able to watch the film, they have to be able to read the intertitles.
She's rolled through reels of her favorite blockbuster films to newsreels showing San Francisco 4 days before the devastating earthquake in 1906.
It's like you're looking back in time. Things have progressed so much recently that it's easy to forget what it was like.
For the past 8 years, the president has been coming to Arlington annually.
Bob Norton hears history in the sound recording studio.
Just in the 8 tapes I have right now, I have FDR speech, I have Voice of the Firestone, which is like an entertainment program.
8 tapes spin in unison, each playing a different NBC radio newsreel.
Not heard it quite done this way.
Including a speech by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt on Armistice Day in 1940.
A day dedicated by the 75th Congress of the United States to the cause of world peace.
Norton switches his speakers between the tapes to listen for levels and check the sound quality as his computer records everything into the center's digital archive.
They'll ingest tonight and be in the archive tomorrow morning.
The center started its digital preservation project in 2009 with the most fragile items. The process is so meticulous and time-consuming, the center has only digitized about 400,000 items from its multi-million-piece collection in 9 years.
We've got a ways to go, but the systems here have allowed us to do it so much faster, better than we were ever able to do in decades past.
The collection grows by as many as 100,000 new items each year. DVDs, video games, vinyl recordings of Bob Hope, cassettes of Judy Collins, and recordings of everything from congressional speeches to The Godfather on VHS arrive at the Center for Preservation.
We've got a 128-year period up until the year 2018 that we are trying to comprehensively collect and fill out the collections.
Luke Coe and the Center's team are preserving those scenes from the screens.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
And broadcasts over the airwaves.
The President of the United States has now left the Memorial Amphitheater at Arlington National Cemetery.
To guarantee what's protected in the bunker beneath the ground.
Use the Force, Luke.
Tells the story of our recorded heritage for generations to come.
To fully understand, where we come from, who we are, what we're doing, what our dreams are, what our disappointments were, is best represented in many ways by the audiovisual material.
The center is working to make its collection more accessible to the public. The National Jukebox has early sound recordings up until 1925 online. The center just launched the National Screening Room online with 300 films, many of them you won't find anywhere else. And the center's 205-seat theater screens films and hosts discussions several times a month. We have a link on our website, NBC29.com, where you can see all those films they'll be showing. They have some Christmas and holiday films coming up in the next month.
It's crazy.
Incredible.
I mean, you have no idea. You drive up Route 29. It's off to the right if you're heading north.
And you see the building as you're driving.
It's tucked away back in there, and the technology is so amazing with this preservation project they have. They can store, and I gotta get this right, 10 petabytes worth of material. 10 petabytes worth of material in this secure data center. That is about 213,000 DVDs per petabyte, or 5 years worth of compressed 4K video per petabyte. So that tells you how much more they can hold in this archive.
Incredible.
Remarkable stuff.
Yeah, people just have no idea. It's just right near
in
us.
our backyard. And every once in a while they do open to the public. You can take the tours of it, but it is a very limited number of people that get to go and experience that even when they do open.
Amazing. I'm a little jealous of you.
It was a cool experience.
Thank you so much.
I have to get them to store in some of
so
Eric's
cool.
forecasts over the years.
I think so.